Konbanwa and welcome to the wrestling scene's Toukon Retsuden, the world of Japanese professional wrestling. We welcome back to all of you. We had taken a sabbatical and it turned into a mondical and a tuesdical. Joining me today, as ever, is Mr. Daniel Edward Ginnetty, Esquire.
Hey, everybody.
Of course, am the great Riki, and tonight we have two big matches for you featuring, is he the current?
He's your current Triple Crown heavyweight champion, Masaharu Funaki, and
Formerly Masakatsu Funaki.
That's right, the Wonderkind.
Yes.
Not the other guy, not Alex Wright, but the other Wonderkind. He came through the New Japan Dojo at the tender age of 15 and had good timing, and he was a natural. And we'll have one of his earliest televised matches all the way back in 1987, no less than 26 years ago almost.
Wow. And at that point, he was in a big tag match here against the invading, in a sense.
Yeah, they had been invading for almost 2 years at that point. They were about to invade themselves out of the promotion.
And out of business,
yeah, I think it was only, it was exactly 4 months to the day after this match that Maeda had the shoot kick on Choshu's face that got him fired and basically got the rest of them booted out of the promotion to reform the UWF and blah, 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 blah.
And the beautiful thing about that was, aside from the kick, which was pretty impressive, I think we've done that one
years
ago.
We did it on a shoot episode with Andre Maeda and Brody Luger in a cage.
Yep, I remember
one
that
of our
now.
rare Gaijin in the U.S. matches.
And it pretty much nobody cared once they left the New Japan thing to a great degree.
They made some money, but it was a promotion of 5 or 6 guys. I guess they did well monetarily themselves, but it was a different style. Maybe they were ahead of their time because now that stiff style is more in vogue, but this was 25 years ago.
More in vogue and considered completely to be shoot all the time, however much it actually is.
Yeah, we'll have more time to talk about that as
true.
Things progress. And in a tag match where Funaki's only one of 4 guys, when he's out, we can just ignore the match and just talk about other stuff.
So let's talk about that match, Dan. It is against 2 UWF wrestlers. Who is his partner? Ah, yes, I recall.
Akira Nogami.
Akira
Nogami is his
one of our
partner.
favorites, actually.
I like Akira.
Yep.
Although now you've seen him, he kind of looks like Skeletor, where his cheekbones are so pronounced, it's so sunken, just kind of looks creepy. But he's doing all right for himself, and they'll be facing Yoji Anjo and Tatsuo Nakano, the perennial undercard guys in the old UWF promotion, and UWF 2.0. They would continue to be undercard guys. And that's helpful for Funaki and Nogami. They're allowed to shine a bit.
Yeah, at this point, Nogami would have been still a junior, right?
Oh,
pretty much he stayed a junior.
He hadn't even become junior
completely.
champ yet. He would be junior champ in the early 90s, right?
Yep.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, he did. I don't remember if he beat Liger for the title. Certainly.
Nogami.
No, you know who he beat? He beat...
Please beat Honaga.
That's who he beat.
Thank you.
Norio Honaga.
Everyone should beat Honaga.
Yeah, that's correct.
Talk about pictures. He must have had pictures of somebody, because...
Hey,
I didn't
at least he had going.
He made Dean Malenko look charismatic.
Look, he had no charisma.
Yes.
He wasn't good in the ring.
Yes.
What else do you want from a guy?
Well, if he had been 6'9", he could have headed his own promotion with those qualifications.
That's correct. All right, I think we better go to the first match to leave us a little time afterwards to talk about it. So without any further ado, or gilding of the lily, we have New Japan facing off against UWF. It is Akira Nogami and Masakatsu Funaki versus Yoji Anjo and
Tatsuo Nakano.
Thank you.
Take a look.
And here, let's see who's squaring off to begin with.
It is Yoji Anjo versus Masakatsu Funaki. Now, believe it or not, at this point, Funaki is 16 years old. He's very beefy for a 16-year-old guy. And you can tell he's tall, too. Now, probably not 6 feet, but
comparatively.
Yeah.
Nice little block of the kick and a takedown by Anjo. Dropping him and putting him down is Funaki. So a good little series of counters there, doing basically the same thing. Catching the kick of the opponent, sliding into a headlock, snapping him over and taking him down. Nice reversals there.
Anjo can work on the mat. We know that from his UWF training. It has to be that style is very legit. You're not going to show a lot of daylight in between maneuvers, and it's not going to be a lot of flashy stuff. It's going to be kicks and strikes down to the ground and submission holds after that.
Nice series of maneuvers there as well for Funaki to gain back into control with a rear chin lock, headlock type thing. Sliding up now. Oh, he may be in trouble now. Taken over by Anjo, and he's going to try and go for a cross arm breaker, but blocked by Funaki and back up. Scoops him up, puts
careful
him down.
now. All right, maybe he overestimated his own strength there.
Yeah, or leverage at least. Certainly he wasn't in the best position. Snaps him over with the arm on top.
And let me see who the referee is. Is that Katsuhisa? I think that might be Katsuyori Shibata's dad.
Really?
Yes, Katsuhisa Shibata. And it's not. It's some undercard guy. That would make sense. I wonder if he was the other match. The other tag match I was considering for this Funaki match was with Liger and Takada and another guy, probably much higher up on the card than this. You can tell everybody's got black trunks here, so this is really low on the card. And working that toe hold is Anjo, and he's going to tag out? No, just continues to work the leg.
Yep.
So Funaki, and I'm learning a little bit more about him based off his Wikipedia page, which is frightening to say the least, if you can believe any of it. Son of a movie theater owner, exposed to martial arts films at an early age, idolized Bruce Lee, who didn't. And instead of entering high school, he applied to the New Japan Dojo. He was in the same class as pro legends such as Keiichi Yamada, Shinya Hashimoto, Minoru Suzuki, and Masa Chono, which I'm not sure about that.
No,
because Yamada got picked up in '83 when New Japan was on a tour of Mexico. Although he did debut in early '84, so maybe late '84. I'll have to verify that. So that's Tatsuo Nakano, the guy who's got all the little circles on him. He had a bizarre cupping accident. Look at that. Now we've got a headlock. And almost a sleeper. Bridging out of it and throwing him over is Funaki, working on a figure four. He's got it, figure four headlock with the arm trapped. I don't think it's going to do much more than just immobilize him.
No, may give him a chance to get a little closer, it appears, to Nogami and get out of this.
I think he's about to escape. Let's see if he goes for the... No, nice. A lot of times when they escape that move, they try to shoot across and go for their own headlock, which... Oh, I like that.
Yep.
There he goes. So that's a transition where everyone is expecting you'd end up there eventually, but he made it interesting to get over there. It wasn't the normal way.
Snaps him over now, rolled over into a cradle by Funaki, gets a 1 count out of it, but back into the headlock that he was held in.
Where was the ref on that? I've seen the ref start counting on a move like that a million times before. And keeping that arm bar and rolling over. Going for a Kimura, but I don't think he's got it. No, you're not going to be able to trap him that way either.
Now, this really isn't the basis of what we've seen from Nogami's style. We'll see if he does. And already we've got more of a pro wrestling style coming in immediately when he got in the ring.
Good job for Anjo trapping before the double team maneuver. Now, I think Nogami is the legal man in.
Yes, he is. Yep.
So I'm not sure how well Nogami can handle the UWF style. We're about to find out.
Of course, he's just coming from the dojo here, so he would have, early on after. Well, what's his? I think he might be in the same. Yeah.
He was an '84 guy too.
Yeah, he would have been too. I was thinking of that cover of the magazine.
You know
I've got
what?
with everyone.
I do see him in the '84. I know Funaki was in the '84 class, late '84. I remember a magazine picture.
Yep, with
all of those guys in there,
including Muto.
Yeah. Muto was an '84 guy. Hashimoto,
pretty good year,
Chono, Yamada was there, but he had started. Whereas the other guys, I don't think started appearing on cards until late '84.
Right.
He started a little earlier. I think it was March '84.
Body slam, then almost a choke attempted by Nakano.
Oh, if he can trap that arm. Oh, he's close. But Yamada had the advantage of he was wrestling full-time in Mexico for almost a year, I think, before he had joined the dojo. So as soon as he kind of, quote, made it through the dojo, it was safe for New Japan to throw him out there on the card because he had really been wrestling for a while, where the other guys came right out of high school or college into the dojo, and they didn't know how to work a match yet.
Hold is broken. Series of kicks by Nakano to try and maintain his advantage, and he's doing well.
Ooh. Look at that. Normally you don't see a lot out of Nakano because he's an undercard guy, but he's getting a lot of licks in. And I like how when he is trapped in a maneuver, he's not afraid to use his elbows and forearms to try to beat on the guy. You don't see that a lot.
Counter here by Nogami to turn it into this.
And of course, Anjo gets in the ring long enough to get reversed on him, and now he's in trouble.
Yep.
But it makes sense when you're a perennial undercard in the UWF, you've got nowhere to go. You're just going to get beat on by the other guys. These guys sell, but struggle in an inventive way, where a lot of people in that leg hold will just sit there and lie there until it's, quote, time to get out of the move.
Snaps him over into a headlock again, rear headlock. And Nogami certainly has picked up the pace, has a little bit more
he's fast.
Pepper to what he's doing.
I don't think he's ever not been fast. He hasn't lost that. We can tell he's got a totally different build than Funaki. Boston Crab. An elevated one. He's high up there.
Makes it, and Funaki breaks that up.
What a
Coming
sell.
off the ropes with basically a drop kick to the chest, and now Nogami up with a kick, striking the back with a series of chops, possibly forearms. It's got Anjo in some trouble.
You gotta decide. Yeah, you gotta figure out what you want to do, kid. You want to do
slams him down, takes him with a shoulder block to keep him down, comes off the other rope, and an
wow,
elbow
nice.
Smash. Nice work.
Almost a
And
flashing
the drop kick.
elbow, like a standing flashing elbow with the speed he delivered it. That's funny that just one little miscommunication and it sticks out like a sore thumb. Where at first he was going to go for the body slam, so Anjo feeds him his head, and then he decides against it and goes for the suplex, and it requires a total repositioning, and time stops.
Yep. Which all happened in probably less than a second.
Yeah, if you haven't watched a ton of matches, it may not have stood out as much. It wasn't Nakanishi-esque, but...
Nakano with a big kick to Funaki to turn it around. Knee, and now a series of kicks. Blocked now by... but nope, Anjo maintains control.
Funaki tried a palm thrust, and Anjo said, "Do you realize what promotion I've been in for the last 3 years?" Boom! And knocked him down. Yeah, a palm thrust is not going to get the job done against these guys because they've been pounded on by the likes of Akira Maeda, Nobuhiko Takada, Kazuo Yamazaki is even above these guys. Osamu Kido was beating on them. Yoshiaki Fujiwara was beating on them. So it was their job just to take a beating night after night after night, but make it look legit, and you couldn't give up fighting. Otherwise, the fans would turn on you. So when the 16-year-old slaps you in the face, I can't help but think, oh, another drop kick. These guys like to do, they break up moves with drop kicks.
Yeah, particularly Nogami. Of course, we also had that great one from Funaki.
Oh, well, that's Anjo, and Anjo would later be known as, or get more appreciation, even though he never gets any big wins. He sells so well, he makes everyone look like $1 million.
It'll keep you working, if nothing else.
It's a tough way to make a living because I think it's more difficult to keep the fans on your side if you lose. Even if you're fighting, sometimes if you just lose too many times, people don't care anymore.
Oh! Nice kick there by Nakano.
And he's been waiting 4 years to deliver that move to somebody without it getting reversed, and he finally gets a chance against a
suplex. Good work there to reach the rope with his leg by Funaki.
Against a 16-year-old New Japan undercard guy. He was waiting his
You gotta
whole
wait for
life.
something. And in comes Anjo again. He's coming off the ropes, it appears.
Look at the size of it.
Oh! Did he
Ouch.
drag him to the side? That was a little bizarre.
He drop kicked him. Oh,
Oh, into a
Wow,
German
look at these
suplex
guys.
with a bridge.
and he bailed out. He learned. Nakano learned.
Oh, drop kick to the back of Nogami, sending him out, and now Anjo in control. Series of kicks.
He almost broke his nose with that. He bailed out of that. Give Funaki credit.
Body slam down. He's going to wrap him up.
Was that a pump handle? I forget what that was called. Well, it doesn't matter now, does it?
Doesn't matter now, nope. Anjo able to reach the ropes. That'll get broken up quickly. And now Funaki with a series of very quick kicks. Blocked by Anjo. Tripped down. Trying to get back up. Driven back into the ropes. This is bad.
Well, we thought it looked like we were going for suplex, up and over suplex. And then instead, maybe Funaki had already started backing up. Anjo didn't have the positioning, said, screw it, I'll just push towards the ropes. I don't think you can get him with a strike. Look at that pressure he put on the knee there.
Yep,
Nice
Anjo
job.
seems to know that it's there.
Yep. That's not, I don't think he was expecting that.
Somewhere between, you wonder how many matches these guys have worked together, and maybe there's a reason why these guys are on the undercard. Back kick there, now a series of kicks.
Look at,
Funaki
whoa,
misses with that one.
blocked
Blocks.
it, spin,
Tripped
leg
by
tap.
Anjo.
Wow, Funaki's turning it on, getting flashy. Bonk. Now Nakano's in, quick small package, and almost got him. 2 count. Oh, what do they call this? Forget it, some kind of cradle. Oh, he almost picked it up there, even though he didn't get the back dig.
Funaki needs to get to Nogami here, it would seem. He's taking some pretty good damage here. Attempted a German suplex, blocked by Funaki. Now going into a
Dragon?
maybe a dragon suplex. Locked.
He's got a
Hold here. Almost.
can't tell if he's got it.
Yeah. Almost like a full Nelson, but with
Yeah.
his hands locked instead of against the neck. Whips him in. Goes
Whoa!
for a drop kick. Nice reversal by Funaki to get back in control of this. Landed a brilliant drop kick in the corner, and he's getting over to Nogami, who will be in, and the beatings will ensue till morale improves.
Can you imagine?
Double drop kick.
I-
That's hard to sell.
I guess the problem with wrestling with Funaki at this age is everyone knows he's the next big thing. He's got a ton of charisma. He's very athletic, fluid motion, everything. If he ever made a mistake, they're going to blame the other guy.
Yep.
So there's no winning against him other than just making him look like $1 million. Any miscommunication, they're going to blame on you because they have a lot invested in Funaki.
Oh, nice. Rolling to bridge, and now
And he
attempted-
rolled over. Oh,
Wow.
close. He almost got it.
And the hammer lock there. See what can happen here. He's in a position that I think Nogami's pretty close to the ropes. Rolls him over. Now he is pretty close.
He's going to get the
Boy.
leg on.
Yep.
Well, this should make you respect Anjo and Nakano more because those years they were spent as jobbers for the original UWF,
Oh, drives his head to the knee.
they weren't just sitting there. They were training hard. And look at these moves, moving in and out of one move to the next, bridging, and the transitions are excellent.
Nice slide. He's very quick. One thing about Nogami is we're saying, oh,
Look at how fast
at
he is.
that.
It's like a little spider.
But a nice counter there by
He's going to push out of that. Oh, and he caught him.
Oh,
Anjo
yep,
caught him.
That is a nice and hideously applied in the sense of it's pain. Oh, look at the torque on the shoulder. Ouch.
Yeah.
It's a rough way to make a living, folks. Particularly if you're on this level of the card.
I know. He's going to make him pay. You youngsters are going to pay your dues when you get in the ring with Anjo. He ain't just another pretty face.
And he reaches the rope with his foot. Hold will be broken, and now we'll see what Nogami has left. He's going to have to get to Funaki to get out of here. Another block of one of those kicks.
Face.
Pushes him down.
Ooh!
Oh.
Look at that. He stomped him in the face. Single leg crab. I would abandon this as soon as I could and get over to Funaki because he's got the young legs, at least 1.5 years younger than this guy, Nogami.
And he's the one who hasn't been getting a beating.
There we go. Tag out, you fool. There we go.
Big
Now
drop kick
tag
sends
out.
him back. Tags
All right.
in Funaki.
Star of the show's in. Boom.
Drop kicks him back into the corner post. Anjo looks like he has taken quite the beating so far. Whips him across. Oh,
Nobody
Anjo
home.
holds up.
Bonk. Nobody home.
Nice counter by Anjo to get himself out of trouble. Belly to belly suplex brings him over, going for the pin. Just getting out. Just about after the 2 count is Funaki. Series of kicks in the midsection.
Oh, he got him.
A strike. That was a good one. Hit him with a lot of the pound.
I think that's what Funaki wanted to do to him earlier in the match and just didn't get the right connection.
Again, Anjo holds on to the ropes to avoid being hit
I
by
think
the
he might have
drop
kicked
kick.
him in the gut.
Yeah. Series of those quick kicks by Funaki.
Oh!
Back kick strafes the back of the neck, sends him down.
And if the power bomb was popular in 1987, don't you think that would have been? Oh, forget it! Look at that. How flexible, fluid motion. The guy is just, he's amazing at that age. He's able to do what he's doing. And into a Boston Crab. High angle. He may have him.
No go.
And he does.
Yep, there you go. That's the victory. They're still fighting on now in the corner, but that's the victory for the New Japan team as Masakatsu Funaki able to use that Boston Crab, high angle Boston Crab to get the victory. Your winners, Akira Nogami and Masakatsu Funaki. Not a bad little match. Now some rough spots here and there we can see both between styles probably and also the experience level. But that kind of stuff, because it's so tight most of the way through, it becomes even more visible.
Yeah, it does.
When you notice it. And it's not, again, as you said, not Manabu Nakanishi, who can be pretty good. Not good, or as Fumi Saito once said, not good, very good, never good, but very convincing.
Yeah.
He can be very convincing and can be dragged through a good match, but there are times in most matches where it looks like he forgets where he is.
Yeah, just time
And it is
stops,
just
and,
time
and
stops
everyone wonders what's he going to do next. And if you're on the receiving end of whatever he's going to do next, you're really wondering because some of it can hurt.
Yep.
But it's kind of funny to look at this match from July of 1987. This might have been the second match on the card. That was a pretty good match.
Yeah, considering what we're used to seeing a lot of times now, a very good match. And a lot of good work from 2 guys who would go on to be pretty big stars. I mean, certainly Funaki, a much bigger star than Nogami would ever become. But Nogami's still working pretty good to this day, so.
Yeah, Nogami does part-time because I think he's in TV or he does movies.
Yeah, he'd been doing that for a while.
Yep. And Funaki eventually came out of retirement because he had gone on, and we can talk about it, we have time, but he came back, he came to All Japan because they need help desperately. And he ended up beating Akiyama in 4 minutes for the Triple Crown Championship. Wasn't that right when we did that June show? It was right around
I believe
there,
so,
I think I announced it.
I know that one thing we know about Jun Akiyama is he may be someone who continues to be given a chance at holding the belt here and there, and he's kind of a big star, certainly the biggest star remaining from that 90s, early 2000s period from All Japan, still active. But he's someone who they also have no problem jobbing in short times. Remember the 7.11 seconds to who did he lose to?
You remember Omori?
That's right, Takao Omori. I had most of the name.
That was one of the first matches we did when I came on the show. Is that 6.77 seconds or whatever it was?
7.11, something like that. Some crazy,
it was ridiculous,
ridiculously quick match.
You know, they just
Champion
came out with a
Carnival.
Akiyama box set.
Really?
Yeah, but this is after 1 Kobashi box set and 3 Misawa box sets, DVD box sets, commercially released. And there wasn't a lot on there. We still haven't seen a Kawada box set or even a Towie box set, but it's funny that Akiyama, it's peculiar that he would get one because there just wasn't much left.
No, once you show all the best matches he's had with those other guys in their box sets,
Misawa and Kobashi, what is left?
You got basically, really Kawada, because the Towie against Akiyama as a singles match is not something anyone really needs to see very often.
I don't know how that sells anything.
Yeah.
But Funaki would end up leaving New Japan. I think he went with the second UWF. Let me see if I can find it here.
I think that may be accurate.
New Japan Dojo, blah, blah, shoot, kick, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it looks like he negotiated with New Japan, Maeda did, to take Funaki along with him. And so he was part of the newborn UWF or UWF 2.0. And in late 1990, it went through mid-88, all of 89, and all the way to the end of 90. And then Maeda and Takada and Fujiwara all had different plans on how they wanted to run things, or shares of money. For some reason, they all ended up getting broken up. And they all ended up splitting. And Fujiwara made Fujiwara Gumi. Takada made UWFI, UWF International, and Maeda split off to rings. So they all went to their separate promotions. And Funaki, who had been developing but wasn't at the level of Takada or Maeda, because he was split off with Fujiwara Gumi, he was able to be the top star of Fujiwara Gumi. And then when Pancrase started, I think it was in 1993.
That sounds about right.
Then he went into Pancrase and was the Pancrase big deal for quite a while. Looks like we're running close on time, so we'll go to the next matchup. This is a Triple Crown defense, his first Triple Crown defense. It's winning the title against Akiyama in 4 minutes. This is from September 23rd, 1912. It goes again. He's facing a guy named Suwama.
But probably 2012. Let's
What did
go
I say?
to that match.
1972?
You said 1912.
1912.
He looks good for his age.
Look at the quality of this footage from 1912, everybody. And that's Suwama, and that has been All Japan's heavyweight hopeful for the last 10 years, or 9 years. So how's that working out for you?
Yeah, well.
I've been looking over some recent All Japan house show results, and with the exception of their January 2nd, January 3rd shows in Korakuen Hall, which is something of a yearly tradition that both of them drew 1,500.
Yeah, usually
or so.
those sell out crazy. And that week, from about the New Year's, probably till the 7th or 8th, Korakuen Hall is just a show or two every day with any little promotion that can get in there. At least that's the way it used to be. I don't know how many other shows or other promotions are still trying to run there.
It still is, because even though there's smaller promotions and there's less activity, Korakuen Hall is a central location, and it's not too expensive for them.
Right.
So just about any promotion can still afford to run Korakuen Hall when it's considered the new year, start of the new year. Even a smaller indie can draw a decent house to Korakuen Hall.
Well, and you just have so many people. Basically, the whole city shuts down virtually for that week for a good portion.
I forget what they call it. Don't they call it? They have a phrase for it. There's Funaki. He looks pretty much the same.
Belts. Yeah, a little older, but that would be expected 27 years later.
I don't know. He has the advantage of not wrestling a lot, because he wrestled full time for maybe a year, maybe 2 years. Then he went to the UWFI, UWF 2.0, and I think they only ran 30 shows in 2.5 years. They ran just about one show a month, just about.
Well, with the stiffer style, it gives it more credibility as well. Probably.
I agree, but it also is much less toll on the body.
And there you have the champion being announced after the introduction of Suwama. And so now Funaki is how many years Suwama's senior?
Suwama, I believe, was born, I think he was born in 82.
So he
oh, no, I'm sorry, I got it. I think he's 76. I was surprised at how old Suwama was. I don't have that here, darn it. If I had a fancy phone, I could find it. But anyway, he's only like 7 years younger than Masakatsu Funaki, because Funaki started when he was 15. Instead of going to high school, he went to the dojo, and they took him.
Yeah, that doesn't happen all that often, although maybe more so now in some ways.
Well, I just remember Nakajima being a 15-year-old guy with Kensuke. Kensuke Sasaki. And then there's a snap kick. So anyway, in Pancrase, he would be even more jacked up than now. He looked like he was like
Taking
inflated with air.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking his vitamins, saying his prayers for sure. And that match he had in, I think it was September 7th.
Wow, still got some flexibility. Strafed the top of his head, and Suwama got out of there as quick as he could to not get hit fully by that kick. Still a pretty quick kick coming from him, too, particularly for a round kick like that.
Like I was going to say, he has a long career, but wrestling in that quasi-shoot stuff, he didn't fight all that often. So he doesn't take nearly the punishment that a guy like Muto did or any of the full-time pro
the
wrestlers.
All-Japan guys in the 90s where you found out how many times you could get a concussion inside of one match, it seems sometimes. Blocked by Funaki, some power attempt by Suwama.
He should have the big power advantage, I would say. He's got age, he's got big tree trunks for legs.
Now, does Suwama have any career-defining victories during his time being the next big thing?
Oh, sure. He won the Triple Crown twice. He won the Champion Carnival in 2008. And so he did that.
So he's got two Champion Carnival, or rather two Triple Crown reigns.
Yeah, let
so
me see
this
if I
is
can
a serious challenger to Funaki here.
Well, one of them he beat Sasaki for. So
Kensuke?
they brought in Kensuke Sasaki. Outsider wins it. That lets Suwama win the Triple Crown without having to beat one of the All Japan guys. So you can use that as a big matchup later on.
Right.
He was probably best known.
Grabbing the leg in a takedown. We've seen some of this before, although not as good as Anjo as far as quickness or
Well, what it looked like to me was that Funaki was prepared to kick him off, and Suwama just kind of slowed down and turned his shoulder to go in between the two legs and block it in a way. It's kind of weird how he blocked the move by going too slow. Normally you have to be faster.
But it makes some sense in a way. Rolling him around now. Funaki with a lot of experience and a lot of skill in this kind of fighting style. I wouldn't think this benefits Suwama to stay on the ground.
You can see how he kind of looked up, trying to collect his thoughts and prepare himself. You may have heard of the Voodoo Murderers. We were still doing shows regularly when they first started, and it was a stable with Taru and I think even who else was it? The guy Kaientai was in there. I'm sorry, Taka Michinoku was in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who else was in there. But so he was one of the guys in the Voodoo Murderers and built up some experience there. He was a heel faction.
Yeah, I don't think this is, right now he's been able to use his weight advantage and power a little bit to keep himself out of big trouble, but I still don't think staying on the ground with Funaki is going to be the best way for him to gain any advantage here. You can already see Funaki's got a counter for everything he's trying to do at this stage, even though it would look like Funaki's in trouble, and there you go.
Yep. If there was any advantage to wrestling this style for Suwama, it would be that he can take Funaki into deep water, and he can preserve some of his strength and keep some of his strength later on in the match.
Although, to a degree, you're also allowing the older guy to do the same. There you see the power advantage. Oh!
Nice dump off. And he looked up at him like, that's not how that was supposed to go. His endurance, I'm sorry, I meant to say endurance. Suwama is a little lumpier, even though he's younger. He's not that much younger. And I don't know if you compare the cardio of these two guys, which one of them would be better off after the 30-minute point of a match. Hey, there's Kaz Hayashi. So I guess they anointed him as an ace about 3 years into his career.
Forearm drops Funaki onto the apron. And now Suwama, big forearm strike again. Almost a punch at that stage.
I like he's selling it, though.
He sure is, and he is in trouble right now. Funaki on the outside. See if Suwama can bring him in the hard way.
And he reversed
behind.
It. Oh!
Suwama able to turn himself enough so he didn't end up sliding completely behind. But now
someone tell Suwama that he got slapped in the face, not in the chest. That's all right. He's awesome anyway.
So he's the ace, huh?
Yeah. Well, that ace run started, or at least Wikipedia thinks that nice kick to the leg. Well, that time he tried to bring his leg out that second time, too, to minimize the force.
Oh, and kick right to the mush there.
And that's your disadvantage. If you're going to sell the leg before it gets there to avoid damage, then you can't plant the leg, and you can't defend yourself against the kick from the other leg.
The chest there, drags him up by the arm, kick back to the face, holds on to him.
Perfect camera angle for that, too. Oh, I like that one better.
Drops him down, and Funaki is administering a beating right now. Again, so now we figured out it's not really good for him to be on the ground. It's also not good for him to exchange strikes.
That was almost like a judo throw. It was January 3rd, 2008. Suwama had saved Keiji Muto and Joe Doring from a post-match attack by the Voodoo Murderers stable. And he tore off his Voodoo Murderers t-shirt, basically quitting the heel group, saving the head of the promotion. Not a bad career move.
Nope, not at all.
And shook hands with Muto and signaled his return to the All Japan home unit, they called it, which was probably 5 former New Japan guys and Suwama.
Yep. Bridging back, and again, the advantage here is if he can do more of the pro wrestling style and get him doing power moves against Funaki. He's not going to beat him on the ground, and it's quite apparent he's not going to beat him with single strikes because he just can't kick with him or strike beyond that.
I agree. So check out this timeline. He saves Muto, turns from heel to face. He beats the head of Voodoo Murderers, Taru, on the March 1st Pro Wrestling Love pay-per-view show.
Kick to the chest before he even clears the ropes. So the hold was broken. Funaki in control.
And then he wins the Champion Carnival that same year.
That's probably lucky.
And then he wins the Triple Crown that year.
So he must have been getting some heat from the crowd.
That's not a...
Oh, there's the power exchange.
Did you see how he just tossed him? It was like he wasn't even there.
Big lariat sends him down. He's got a pinning combination. 1, no.
Well, there's a disadvantage for a very experienced guy who doesn't weigh 200 pounds. Is that somebody with a decent bit of strength is going to throw you around like a
Driving him
rag
up with
doll.
a knee and taking him over. Yeah, and that is Suwama's only real chance here. We've talking about it before leading into it. And if he can turn this into a power versus power match, he has a chance. Has him up, and this could hurt.
Let's see if he can flip through it. Good.
Sliding down. It took a little too long for Suwama to apply it in a series of strikes, and now he's got him from behind. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, he's going to dump him on his head with a trapped arm? I don't know what that is.
Strength comes through.
Good.
But he still managed a back kick, and now catches him, though.
I'm surprised. That was one move, that reversal. I don't even know what that was.
Some kind of almost an inverted leg whip.
Almost looked like he went for a dragon screw leg whip, but his knee gave out on him. I thought Funaki was going to get reversed one move before he actually did. I thought that Suwama had the opportunity and just didn't take it or wasn't aware that it was available.
Yeah, it seemed like Funaki thought he was going to get reversed one move ahead as well. But I'm wondering, Suwama must have gotten an awful lot of heat drawn from the turn back to a good guy because everything happened, fell into place for him right then afterwards. And it makes you wonder if they were even seeing a good reaction from the crowd when he was a heel. And so they were saying, hey, maybe we got something here. And then you save arguably the most popular wrestler.
Exactly, yep.
And that probably helps a bit. We'll be seeing some more of Keiji Muto. Oh, as a leg comes down on the side of the canvas. And Funaki is in trouble now. Again, this is the style that favors Suwama, turning it into a big, nasty brawl.
Yeah, if you can keep it more of a brawling style as opposed to a shoot fight style, then Suwama is in a good spot. And every minute you can get, every minute of that style you get in a match, the better your chances of winning. He would lose it to somebody, I don't know who, but then he would go on to defeat Minoru Suzuki for the his second Triple Crown reign in August 29th of 2010.
So he has a big win, obviously, against another shoot style sort of guy.
Yep. And an outsider from All Japan, too. So again, you're not giving him that win over Muto. You're not giving him that win over
somebody else. Yeah.
Have I run out of guys yet? Now that Kojima is back in back in New Japan, there's
you pretty much don't have anyone of real significance.
It really is a mess. Poor All Japan. Well, we'll see what Suwama's got. He's keeping that work on that leg, but I don't know what this accomplishes. He's outside of the ring.
Yeah, and you got the ref counting, and all he's done now is given Funaki the chance to kick him off and maybe get a little time to
I look
recover.
at this, and it makes me think that Suwama's offense is not developed enough for him to come up with a viable, high-impact option when you've got a guy hurt.
Nice catch of that kick. Because the rope was there, Funaki didn't get to have as much extension on it, I don't think. And now, I don't know what this is, but it doesn't look like good news for Funaki.
If he can step on the back of the knee, this could do a lot of damage, like a knee breaker from the top rope. But I think if you look, Funaki's got his foot on the second turnbuckle, and that's reducing some of the stress on his upper leg.
Possibly blocking a lot
and he
of
let
what
it
he could have
go.
done there, too.
That was a lot of work
The
for
ref was
nothing.
definitely counting him and telling him to let go, but, you know, maybe you could have administered a little more damage before letting go, particularly since you stood there with it for a while.
Okay. I don't know nothing from nothing, but I look at Suwama and I say good challenger, bad champion, because this offense does not look compelling to me.
Yeah, no, and the problem beyond that is it doesn't look like he's the kind of champion. As a champion, you don't see him as being someone who's a real good seller either. So he's not able to drag another guy through a match, certainly with the limitations we've seen on his offense.
So now I'm wondering what Funaki's doing, because Funaki is just lying there, letting him try to beat on him, and Suwama, the best he can come up with is 5 different leg holds. This is not Suwama's game.
Right.
He should not expect to be successful doing this. He should expect to be successful stomping, clubbering him.
Unless there's some sort of an ego thing here. If you remember, there was always the claim that in the first fight against Roberto Duran, Ray Leonard wanted to show he was tougher than Roberto Duran, so he fought Duran's style. Marvin Hagler against Sugar Ray Leonard tried to outbox Leonard early to try and do that. So it can be the ego thing. Maybe he's trying to beat Funaki at his own game to show his superiority, but not a smart move. And Funaki there, able to, out of the bridging leg hold, reach the ropes with his hand, rolls out of the ring, and now Suwama's wasting time again. Suwama needs to make every moment he's got an advantage count in order to beat Funaki, because we know from his background, Matsuharu now, is that it?
It's Matsuharu Funaki.
Funaki has the ability to turn a match around at any time, get a submission hold that you can be completely at the height of your strength, completely
There it is,
running
back
the match.
elbow. A running back elbow with one bad leg.
And you can see, still hobbled on that leg badly, but enough to be able to drive Suwama back, but that was inevitable. If Suwama could get any strike on him with the injury to the leg, he was going to be able to knock him off balance.
So this puts some pressure on the knee, but this is a lot of Achilles stuff too. And they'll say that in a real fight, you can put Achilles tendon holds on and heel hooks on, but it doesn't really affect the opponent because there's too much adrenaline going through their body. It will hurt you, but just something hurting isn't going to stop a fighter from fighting.
Right.
So
not a guy with Funaki's background, especially for the Triple Crown.
Yeah, exactly. So he's softening up a knee, hoping that, I don't know, he
looks
doesn't
like
get
a
kicked as
problem
hard.
there, doesn't it? Series of heel kicks finally drives Suwama back.
All right. So I'm also noticing that one of these two guys is blown up. Am I not seeing that?
No,
I think I'm seeing some guy sucking wind right now. Apparently he's your next big thing.
And who knows whether Funaki is, because he's been laying down for the last 5
All
minutes.
Funaki's had to do is lay down.
Yep.
Here, grab my leg. Do this to me. I like that. That was an inside kick to the knee.
You know what Suwama would be if he had 3 times the move set and was a little heavier and people really cared?
Who?
Shinya Hashimoto.
Well, he's in slightly better condition than Shinya Hashimoto.
But not necessarily capable of doing more with that condition.
No,
He's in a lot better condition now.
Now, he had a 60-minute match, believe it or not, against Taiokeia. That must have been...
Maybe we'll take a look at that sometime.
No,
or
we
maybe
won't.
not.
Maybe not. I like Taiokeia, but,
I do, but
not 60 minutes of Taiokeia.
Not against Suwama.
It was hard enough to go through 60 minutes of Kojima versus Tenzan. They had run out of tricks in their bag probably 35 minutes in, which is too bad because at the 35-minute point it was fantastic.
That's right.
And then they started kind of cycling through doing
driving the knee down again.
Is that a clutch suplex? Let me see if I can find the name of that. He has some fancy moves.
I think that was questionable to even start counting there. It looked to me like Funaki's left shoulder was never really down that much. But back to that ankle hold, high angle ankle hold.
Now see, this is the one that doesn't do anything to the knee.
Yep.
This is the one
Yeah,
that...
he's even got the knee virtually braced against his body.
Yeah, he's protecting the knee here. He's just trying to twist the ankle. Which, you know,
Which is a problem because of that.
Yeah, but you saw that a lot in Pancrase. It just didn't get you a submission in pro wrestling.
That kick to the back of the neck from Funaki drove off Suwama for a moment at least. Comes with a rolling kick,
Miss.
catches him on the
Nice,
shoulder.
good.
Not much. Good work by Suwama to sort of duck, but not oversell it, because that would have been very bad.
Yeah, presence of mind. So Suwama's got the mind for it. I just don't see him physically being up to the task here.
You know, I want to see him in another match maybe. Driving him down. Nice job taking him down to the armbar.
It looked like Suwama resisted at some point, but Funaki continued rotating until he could get him in the right position to bring him down.
Funaki trying to stop the more powerful man from dragging him over towards the ropes. This is where if he can time when Suwama is starting to drag, he can go the other way, but not this time. And Suwama gets the hold broken.
I don't think Funaki had an expectation he was going to nail him on that, because Suwama outweighs him, and the strength advantage is still there, especially when you're desperate.
That's right.
You knew Suwama was going to make it to the ropes.
And the one thing I will say, Dan, we've seen ourselves watched a match with someone who was supposedly really good, and it was just an awful match for them, the worst match we've ever seen them in. And then we saw him afterwards and couldn't believe that this was the same guy. It was Kobashi, if you remember the first match.
I think we saw the first worst Kobashi match he ever had, and it was the first match we had ever seen of him.
Kicking out is Suwama, but not much time. And now it looks like his arm is bothered. Yeah, his left arm is bothered. Now, is that the one he delivers the lariat with? I think it is.
I'm trying to see.
Series of kicks now. Dropped. He'll try and drive him back down. Back to the ankle hold.
We've been there before. He could almost do a somersault through this.
And he rolls through this and kicks him in the back of the head last time. So we'll see if Suwama figured anything out as far as a defense to that counter.
I don't know what this does other than buy a guy time who may not have the endurance or cardiovascular. There it is.
There you go. Oh, me! And they're in mid-ring. This is dangerous. The cross arm breaker. I think he got the block on.
He's got the block on.
There's the strength again.
Yep. Well, if this was the lead into that spot, then maybe it was all worth it, but I think they could have done it with one less segment.
Oh, look at him trying to break through it, but now he's got him in a mount position.
He doesn't have the strength.
Look at that.
Good twist. Go around. Okay, but we're
I
back
love
to
the move, but at least it was a nice series.
And that
was the move. Nice.
That's in our intro. Tanaka does that to Takaiwa.
Yep.
Okay,
much quicker.
Yeah, and this hold is just as boring when Funaki does it as when Suwama does it. Now, if Suwama is doing it to get himself deeper into a match because he doesn't have the cardiovascular system to support it,
or the moveset to carry the match,
I don't know. Here,
I mean, we'll have to see.
You know, he's got so many finishing moves. He has an ankle lock as a finishing move, so maybe that's why we're seeing this so much.
Yep.
And to the people who have ankle locks for finishing moves, I would say find a real finishing move.
It sounds like he may have some other more concussive ones as well.
Oh, sure. Bridging belly to belly, bridging German suplex, last ride, which is an elevated power bomb. His signature moves, double forehand chop, frog splash, lariat, multiple
Here we go,
suplex
spinning back kick.
He's going to go for a German.
Might have gotten the arm as well.
Belly to back.
Belly to back has him up and over, but Funaki is a little slow to go after it. Still going to go for the pin here, not a chance, although got a lot of count there out of nothing.
Yeah, that upper body of Suwama is so thick and so heavy. When Funaki brought him up to bring him over, there was no arc to it.
Right.
It was up and then straight down. He couldn't even bridge with it. That's how heavy this guy is. Deadlift, release, German.
I could be impressive. I could see that being
a capture suplex,
too.
Release belly to belly, trapping suplex.
Sliding behind, Suwama trying to find him way, but series of kicks again. Funaki.
Oh, he blocked it. Good for him.
Could be bad.
Good. Oh, he blocked it again. Trap both arms.
Guess what? Funaki's going for a ride. Nice power move by Suwama. Now let's see if he can do something else.
Power bomb. That's what I do.
Wasting time.
He may get it this time.
Get it anyway.
Dump him. I think you can dump him. Yep.
Nope.
Sleeper.
There's a problem.
Choke
Nice
sleeper.
job. Choke sleeper. Bringing him down. Now what's going to happen with Suwama? Sitting now. He's losing any leverage at all here. Referee checking.
It might have been the last ride just for the wrong guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice job, Dan. Had him up there, but he held on too long before going for it. Funaki holding on for dear life until he could figure out a way of positioning himself. Here's where the experience came in for Funaki again, countering the power move. But I just think Suwama's style didn't help him there. And right now he's in mid-ring.
And he's getting choked to death. He can't breathe. The thing he needs the most now at this point in the match is oxygen.
Yep.
Because he needs to keep moving. If he can keep moving just a little bit, he can express his weight advantage and his strength advantage over Funaki.
The ref right there checking on the condition of Suwama, who does not seem to have a means or method of getting out of this hold.
Yeah, I don't like the looks of this. Even if he gets out of it, he's going to be ripe for the picking for Funaki.
And this is where you hope some of what you've done is going to stop the opposition from being able to come right back at you.
I don't even know how far we are in this match. Maybe 20 minutes or so. And that's
I would say that's pretty close.
That looks like it's 10 minutes too long for Suwama because I don't know what he has left in the tank. A lariat from him now isn't going to mean nearly as much as it would have 10 minutes ago.
It's not going to have the snap. Certainly not. He is still struggling, though. Still awake, still aware, trying to find some means of getting out of this hold, but a lot less struggle suddenly than he did have. Look at the power, though. That's the one thing he still got. Look at that.
Oh, and he needed and you see how he leaned over,
Yep.
over-rotated in the beginning in order to get that momentum to show that it's much harder for him to do.
Oh,
He's going to get the last ride out of this if he can. Oh, he might get it. I think he's got it.
And he...
Nice.
Oh, wow. Huge, but he is not going to be able to follow up.
Hey,
Nicely done.
He got a spot in. Good for him.
Huge spot. Now, what can Funaki do now to save himself? He's got a little time, though.
Now, Funaki's got time. He's the champion. I just don't know what Suwama's going to follow up with. That was his finishing move there. Again, a guy with a little more wind to him might have been able to follow up. And he is.
Well, he was in that choke sleeper for a long time. Yeah, that choke sleeper
took every bit of
saved him
strength
right there. Now, I'm betting he tries, if he gets the chance to go for an offensive maneuver, he's going to try for the lariat, I would guess.
You better get out of that corner. I don't like being in the corner against kickers because they end up doing a lot of damage.
Something. Nope, nice running drop kick. Big, lands right to the chest.
Nice snap on the drop kick, too. I'm kind of surprised.
Now he's going for a lariat. Into the corner, and that would be the way to get more power out of it. German suplex released.
That's a windmill forearm. He's got it.
Just kicking out. You'd see the eyes of Funaki. He was ready to kick out there.
He was still conscious. That's a good sign. So this is Suwama throwing everything, including the kitchen sink.
Blocked by Funaki, the attempt at the German suplex.
Back elbow is a good thing
Blocked
to throw.
Again.
Hey, look at
catch
me.
Him.
I watch wrestling sometimes.
Countered by him. He's going to run it. Oh, right to the arm. Brilliant. Blocks the lariat there. Series of strikes blocked by Suwama.
Oh, headbutt. Nice.
Nice exchange here. That was in slow motion.
That was a waste of time. And you're not going to miss this one. That ain't going to get it done. Watch. You're going to get kicked, son. Oh!
Series of
roundhouse
strikes.
Yeah,
knee lifts underneath to try and stop him. This is a big exchange, and everything right now going Funaki's way.
Yep, this is Suwama
he caught one in between maybe that knocked Funaki back. Maybe saved him again.
I thought Suwama was playing slap fight for a little while, where Funaki's strikes were much stiffer.
Yep.
But
he wasn't landing anything, but he got one short straight one in, a la Juan Manuel Marquez.
You know, and his body style fits that because when he shoots a short punch or a short strike.
Just getting out off of a version of almost a Shining Wizard delivered by Funaki.
A short strike by Suwama has his tree trunk legs and his weight behind it, where anything it hits, it's like getting hit with a brick wall. Where Funaki has to be a little stiffer, a little more snap to it.
Catches him with a kick there.
And I don't know what happened.
Ball's over. It seemed like he lost his balance right after he landed a kick to the head.
Based on what Funaki's gone through the last couple minutes, I think I would want to be following. There you go. Follow up.
Yep.
Don't waste time. And he's working for a cross-face chicken wing a la Bob Backlund. Good for him. Oh, no, that's different.
I don't know what this is.
Let me see if I can find the name. He's tried this before on him. Where's his moves? Oh, great.
Oh, but there's the problem. Counter into a big, almost just a general suplex, I guess. Or
there's
a
a
body
lariat.
slam.
He's signaling for the lariat, I think. Is this going to be a short lariat or just another suplex? Belly to back. Watch out for the rollover. Oh, no
he
rollover.
Him there. He may have him if he can get the cover. He's right there.
I like his eyes. His eyes are still good.
Whoa,
eyes are still good.
Slow kick out, though.
You can see the wheels are turning for Funaki, so I'm not afraid of him just caving in.
He's just looking for some manner, some means.
I think he's
of
trying to
getting
come up
this
with
guy.
a reversal for what he knows is the lariat coming.
And it looks like that may be what's coming
I don't
now.
know if it's a
big
duck
running lariat.
under. You get behind him and roll him up.
He may kick the arm again and transition
He's
into an
already
arm
kicked
bar.
it once, though. See, that's the funny thing.
Oh, didn't do anything but get hit by
One,
it there.
two, and we have a new.
No! Kicking out is Funaki. And I think Suwama now is getting a little bit frustrated. The kitchen sink's already come out. He's down to the plumbing connecting it at this point.
No, he's not going to get this. I don't think he's going to get this power bomb.
Well, not if he wastes this much time.
I wonder
he
if
does not have time to
the
waste.
thing that may have saved Funaki's title here so far is that one kick to the lariat arm a few minutes ago. Oh, pushed him up
Sliding
and over. Block.
Blocks.
Gee, can you reel? Oh, that was a fast strike. Duck under. Kick to the head. Bonk.
Kick to the head. Timber.
You can do another one if you want. Ouch!
Series of very stiff strikes.
Oh, you see how he measured it?
Yep.
Oh, forget it. He's done. Funaki's just going to get up. He's smiling. He measured him. He pushed him off just a couple inches so he could make that kick to the head connect perfectly. And now he's coming up, and he thinks that he's got it in hand, and I think he does too.
Wrapping him up again for an attempt at this.
Oh, is it a power?
Oh!
Like a shoulder breaker. I think he's got it. That's his finisher. One,
One,
two, three.
And there is your winner, Masaharu Funaki. Brilliant victory here in 27 minutes, 11 seconds.
Hybrid. I think it's a hybrid something. Because he's a
hybrid
hybrid
suplex
wrestler.
or something?
That was
Yeah.
Pancrase's gimmick for a while. Hybrid wrestler.
Nice match there. Excellent work, actually. And Suwama was trying to tell a story. It just wasn't a story I don't think we wanted to hear for a lot of it.
I thought he was too shaky in the middle part of the match to have so much energy at the end. I don't know about the flow of it, but I think that's about all the time we have for this episode. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you for joining us.
Yep, for the great Riki, I'm Dan Ginnetty, and Will in the control room. Sayonara.
試合終わった感じ、こういう感じだったんですよ。勝者も敗者もダウンしたままなんです。ボロボロですよね。お互いにもう全力尽くしちゃってね。今全く同じ状況ですよね。勝った船木も負けた諏訪間も両者とももうダウンして力を出し切った。もうそれがね鮮やかに今ねもう読み上がってきましたね。